Hey, Justin from highertalent.ph here. I wanted to put this video together to explain to people that are debating between hiring people in the Philippines or somewhere like Latin America. There's a lot of differences between the two. One is a country, one is an entire region slash continent. But there's very big differences between the two, and may make sense to push you to one region over the other depending on what you're looking for. So I'll start with the Philippines. One, they have absolutely excellent English communication. They grew up speaking English as a first language. They can read, they can write. Generally, write is better. But you can find people that are able to do calls, take sales calls, things like that in the Philippines. When in Latin America, you may have more of a struggle with that because of an accent, but in the Philippines, they do speak with an American accent over any other accent. So I do find that to be great. But keep in mind, if you're in the Philippines, the default time zone will be in the Philippine time zone, and that is about 12 hours ahead of Eastern time, about 15 hours ahead of Pacific time. So if you are in the US, it will be a little bit harder if you're looking for someone in your own time zone. So if you're looking to hire someone to do work while you sleep, so you wake up, let's say you work 9 to 5 Eastern, and then you go to sleep at 9 p.m. Eastern time to 5 a.m. Eastern time, you have someone working on their shift. You wake up and then you can continue doing work. So if you're looking for that kind of a balance of a relationship, then it makes sense to hire in the Philippines because you're working Eastern time, you go to sleep, you wake up, and a bunch of stuff gets done in the morning when you wake up. So I think that's great, but depends on the kind of business need. That's better for more async, not as intensive time replying to things quickly. So that's why the Philippines is great. Additionally, you have work culture and loyalty. So in the Philippines, they place a big emphasis on the loyalty that you're going to have to your employer. I have hired, I don't know, at least 50 different people in the Philippines in the last year or two alone, and I've never had anyone burn me. I think that's something that a lot of people worry about is like, am I going to get burned? Are they going to run away with my credit card information? Like, well, I can't promise, I don't want to promise that everyone is perfect because there are bad apples. Generally, this isn't something that you have to worry about if you're hiring in the Philippines. There's ways to get around this just to safeguard yourself further, which you should, like set up different credit cards specifically to only give your VA access to these things, and other small things that you can do to really safeguard yourself. But generally speaking, like when you want to think about a culture, a group of people, people in the Philippines have very strong loyalty, very good work culture. They're one of the most hardworking people in the world, some of the most hardworking people. And yeah, so you don't really have to worry about that. And it's very rare because it's hard to find a group of people that can kind of check off certain boxes of like if the time zone thing is actually an advantage to you. You have the work culture and loyalty. So there's the culture shift is not as different. You don't have to feel like you can't trust anyone. And then now I'll kind of talk about another benefit of the Philippines, which is the cost. So you can hire someone in the Philippines part time, full time, whatever you want. But even if you want to start off part-time with someone, you can pay them hourly. $6 to $10 an hour can get most general BVA things done. If you're looking to hire someone full-time, the minimum you're looking at is like $650 a month, I would say, at least in 2025. You may find other gurus or influencers saying that you can pay someone $400 an hour or $400 a month or $3 an hour, but I don't think that's fair. I think you're kind of in a mutually beneficial relationship with people that you work with around the world. And in the Philippines, if the average rate is $5 an hour to pay $6 to $7 to get someone that's higher quality, lock them in. A lot of people in the Philippines like to work full time, so a full time offer is more enticing to someone than part time. If you're going to do part time, it's just like Upwork. You may have to expect people's hours to be artificially increased by like 20% just because you're not giving them the security of a full time position. So that's something to keep in mind. But in the Philippines, you can definitely get people to work for about $6, $7 an hour on the starting end, and then these salaries can range all the way up to $10, $15, $20 an hour for like super high quality people. We're talking like, top of the barrel salaries are looking at like $1,500 to like $2,500 can get you an absolute incredible person in the Philippines. Another thing is the infrastructure. So how are you going to hire someone in the Philippines? You can use websites like highertalent.ph or things like onlinejobs.ph. Higher Talent has a more specialized pool of people. You can find people that are more vetted, that have more specific skills if you're looking to hire someone that kind of understands things like instantly if you're sending cold emails, or ChatGPT specialist that works with automations. If you need someone that can do really specific stuff, hire talent is probably the best way to go. If you need someone that's more of a generalist, or you kind of just want to like shoot out into the wild, onlinejobs.ph is great as well. But the difference is hire talent, you're not going to get that many applicants, maybe 10 to 20 per job. Online jobs, you're going to get 100 people. They're going to find your phone number, text you somehow, email you. It's like a very different kind of talent pool that both platforms attract. But those are the two platforms that you can hire someone in the Philippines from specifically. You could go into Upwork, you could go into Fiverr, stuff like that. But those are Philippine specific. Now moving into Latin America. Latin America is very different. So you've got a few things that change, like the time zone and the cost are probably the two of the biggest things that people keep in mind immediately. Time zone, they're in Eastern time. This is a lot easier to work with if you're in America, if you're in Canada. If you're in the UK, it's going to be a 5-hour difference behind you, as opposed to in the Philippines, you are at a 7-hour difference in front of you. So not as big of a time difference for UK or Europe. It kind of depends, like it's not as intense, but if you're located in North America, then Latin America might be the best option for you. The trade-off with that is the salaries are a bit higher, so you're looking at $800 to $1,000 a month minimum for some kind of full-time virtual assistant, executive assistant role. But if you are going into the higher end of the spectrum, you're looking at $10 to $15 an hour for people that can start getting specialized, that are specialized in certain things, like if you've got tools or CRM specific things that you're looking for. To find someone like that, you're going to have to pay more, and you're going to have to pay more on top because they're in Latin America. But another benefit is the bilingual skills, which this could be good or bad for you depending on, not bad for you, it could be good for you if you are located somewhere that is going to be serving clients that speak English and Spanish, which is massive. Very big benefit for that, and people in Latin America can also speak and write English, so you don't really have to worry about that. In most of the people that are applying for your jobs in these countries are going to be fluent in English. So a little different than the Philippines because they don't grow up speaking English as they would in the Philippines, or reading and writing English, or having laws in English. Things are going to be Spanish focused, but most people that are applying for these jobs, language is not a barrier. So it's a little different, maybe a smaller talent pool, but they definitely still speak English. Another benefit is in Latin America, you will actually have people that have more of a traditional educational background that many people are more comfortable with, like having a college degree, more formal training, things like marketing, business, design, customer service. And a lot of them have worked with US companies, which in the Philippines, you have a lot of people that also have worked with US companies, but a lot of people also don't. So you can still find people in the Philippines that do, but in Latin America, you have it's a lot closer for anyone. So anyone in America. So it's a lot easier to find people that have worked with companies and kind of industries that you might be more familiar with if you're located in the States. Those are pretty much the biggest differences between the two. It really depends on your priorities. Like if you're looking for the lowest cost, then you should probably go to the Philippines. If you're looking for a big talent pool, also go to the Philippines. If you're looking for real-time collaboration and bilingual support, Latin America is the way to go. I do think that just from the availability of someone in Latin America alone can push people to use talent in Latin America over the Philippines, Eastern Europe, anywhere else in the world, because at that point, you're just looking for someone that can work on the same schedule as you because you're doing your job normally. Let's say you're in marketing and you need an assistant, or you're in video editing and you need someone to edit your videos or your shorts during the day. If it's something like that, like you probably don't care about anything other than the time zone that they work in, and then you go for cost. If you're doing async work, things that don't really need to be done within a 30-minute response time, I would say go to the Philippines, or at least start there and look there first. But if time zone is more important to you, start in Latin America. If cost is more important to you, and you are not really focused as much on getting things done immediately, go to the Philippines. It's kind of nice. You can wake up and you can have things done, which is like a little interesting of a dynamic. If you don't need it to be done right away, it's kind of nice versus, a team that's located close by to you that is working on the same time as you, but maybe a little bit more costly. So I hope that helped. If it did, leave a comment. I have a guide that I'm going to put in the description that kind of goes into this a lot more in depth. And feel free to sign up for that and put your email in, and then you'll get it emailed to you.